Building a better marketing system, tactical considerations. I'm Bruce May, the founder of Bizperity and your instructor for this series. This course, Digital Media Strategies, includes 4 micro courses, including 4 main digital marketing processes, owned audiences, tactical considerations, and 15 basic campaigns. This micro course, Tactical Considerations, includes the 7 micro lessons shown on the right: social media processes, content marketing processes, creating content for customer segments, basic automated processes, tagging processes in a CRM, managing conversions in the customer journey, and designing campaigns. This video covers our micro lesson, creating content for customer segments. In our video lesson on niche audiences, we saw how you can track prospects by customer segment throughout the customer journey. You can repeat this process at each stage, all the way through the customer journey to a closed deal. The better your content fits each stage, the better it can perform. When you want to think strategically about the kind of content you should be using in your content marketing campaigns, you should create content for each audience in the customer journey. And in many cases, customize that content even further into customer segments. You can do that using the criteria that you use to create your customer segments. In some cases, you may have used multiple criteria to define your customer segments. This depends on your judgment, based in turn on your industry knowledge or your professional experience, or in some cases, just on your own common sense about your customers. It's difficult to establish broad rules about how this works because it's so specific to different industries and the wide variety of products and services available in the marketplace. And recall, creating your own creative customer segments is often the best way to define customer segments to begin with. But a few examples that show how it could work should help you see how you can approach this task. Here we have a local home electric service. To simplify this model, we've created only 3 customer segments: high, mid, and low-income homeowners. The first group of high-income owners have an urgent need because something's broken and they need to get it fixed quickly, which is their main challenge. Their goal is to fix it at any cost, but they want it done reliably. Here, the topics for content are primarily your brand promise, because they are searching for a company probably in Google Ads and they're not worried about price. Your brand promise is crucially important to distinguish your business from your competitors and to paint a picture of the customer experience that your customers hope to find. Formats include ads, especially in search, but also in any marketing channel, and with marketing videos that describe your company and your brand. Next is high-income homeowners searching for a company to make a home improvement, like adding lights, either inside or out, or adding an emergency generator, or any other kind of electrical project. Challenges include design issues regarding electrical fixtures, or more technical issues about how your improvements work. Their goal is to gain expert advice from you about what they should do. Content can include a series of topics related to home improvement projects typical for your business. These can be created on a regular basis as a part of a company blog or as a downloadable guide that covers many common projects. Next is mid-income homeowners that have an urgent need because something is broken and they need to get it fixed quickly. The same challenge with high-income homeowners. Their goal is to get it done quickly. They're somewhat concerned about price, but are more concerned with the quality and reliability of the service. While these goals vary slightly from the high-income homeowner, the topics for content are exactly the same as they are for the high-income homeowners, and so are the formats. This illustrates an important point about content. Often the same content works for multiple customer segments or variations on those segments. So don't knock yourself out creating content that you don't need because it's not going to make a difference. Next is mid-income homeowners searching for a company to make a home improvement, same as before. Challenges are different this time. They focus on cost versus feature because these are cost-conscious buyers. Their goal is advice on their concerns, which might be driven by their lack of knowledge about electrical matters in general. Once again, a series of topics can best address these concerns, but it would be a different set of topics than those mentioned before. When it comes to content, these topics would focus on educating homeowners, including first-time homeowners, about common electrical issues found in homes. These can be created on a regular basis, just as before, as part of a company blog or as a downloadable guide. You could mix these topics in with your other blog topics or design a separate downloadable guide to address them specifically. It makes sense to create slightly different content for customers who need to be educated about your products and services. You should test the content to see if it makes a difference. You should also test it with your other segments too. It may work well for each of your customer segments. Don't blindly assume your content works without testing it. Our last group is low-income homeowners that also have an urgent need for a repair. They're concerned mainly with how they're going to pay for your service on a tight budget. Their goal is to get it done as affordably as possible. Your content should once again focus on your brand promise because that's the best first impression you can give a customer, and it distinguishes you from your competition. Otherwise, the formats are the same as before for this same need. The last need listed here is for low-income homeowners, is for a home improvement project. Because it's unlikely that this group would have the money to invest in a project that they would perceive as unnecessary and expensive, there probably is no market for this group. This illustrates how easy it is to think there is a market or a customer segment searching for a product when there is none. That's why it's important to test your customer segments and your offerings to confirm you're advertising to a group that needs what you're selling. In this example for custom home builders, we have created just two customer segments, high-income homeowners and mid-income homeowners. Low-income homeowners are not in the target market for custom home builders. The first need is for a home that meets specific needs of the homeowner who has probably lived in one or more pre-designed homes and now has the income to be a lot more picky about what they want, which is why they're willing to work with a custom home builder that may take longer to build and be more expensive than a pre-designed home built by a large regional or national builder. Their challenges focus on the floor plan, and their goals are all about getting what they want, which is more important than price. The content includes topics around home design, and the formats are articles, posts, and videos, which can showcase previously built custom homes by this builder. It would also be easy to create a blog that posts curated content from magazines and online articles or posts that talk about custom home designs and floor plans. In the second group of high-income homeowners, the need is the same for a home design to meet their specific needs, but their goal is to get the exact style they want, as for example, modern, French provincial, or something else. The content includes the topics around home styles, and the formats are articles, posts, and videos, which can showcase previously built custom homes. And once again, it would be easy to create a blog that posted curated content from magazines and online articles or posts that talk about custom home designs and floor plans. So you can mix the content for these two variations in this customer segment in the same media and formats. Our second customer segment in this group, mid-income homeowners, have the same needs as the first group to buy a home that fits specific needs. And in this group, their challenge is the floor plan, as it was in the previous groups. But they don't have as much money to spend, so their goal is to find the right balance between cost and their desires. The content is the same as with high-income homeowners, which includes topics on design. Their price concerns are best met by offering simpler designs with modest floor plans that can still be customized to meet a wide variety of needs. This is not a marketing solution. It is a business solution. And this example points out the importance of recognizing the difference. However, you can make marketing ads that highlight both larger, more complex homes for the first customer segment and this one as well with less complex plans that would fit their budget. There are no hard and fast rules about how to handle these content solutions. Sometimes you can mix topics across customer segments, and sometimes you need to run different campaigns or at least provide different content options in the same campaign. As for example, by creating a public-facing content library that has content categorized by customer segments. This last group, mid-income homeowners, once again has the same needs and challenges as with the high-income buyer, but their goal is to get the right look and not necessarily the exact look and style they wanted, because they know they can't afford that level of luxury. The content is the same as it was for the high-income homeowners. And again, the best way to address this concern is by advertising two or more pricing levels and offer content for each level or customer segment. These could even be branded with a product label with unique names for each group, just as you do with model cars. How you use your content, either in separate campaigns or in different sales options that are presented by a salesperson in a strategic business decision, or is a strategic business decision more than a marketing one. So there's no right answer on how to do this. It really comes down to testing your strategies and choosing which one works best. I want to give you one more example that illustrates this approach for a more complex business model and to make it perfectly clear that there's no one right way to approach this task, which can seem overwhelming. But as I hope you can see, the solutions are usually pretty simple and a matter of mostly common sense. So you don't have to get this exactly right. Again, because there's no one exactly right way to do this. In this example, for a marketing consultant, we have 4 unique customer segments that vary by size, but have very different challenges and goals. The first 2 lines are for small businesses, one with no marketing budget because they are just starting, and one that has a low budget. The first business with no budget has no idea about how to best market their business, as is typical for most business owners when they first open their business. The goal is simply to close new clients. This is a sales process, not a marketing one, but good marketing can help generate leads. As a consultant, you can offer limited advice because this client has no marketing budget. This is an ideal opportunity to help out someone who might generate enough money to become a client, so it can be worth offering some free advice. You should include your brand promise in any content you provide. The advice should be general, but specific enough to be of real help. The formats include posts and videos, but you could also publish articles in LinkedIn and post a link to the article so that the post goes into their feed. You could even invest a small part of your own budget to seed this potential pool of future customers. The target for all the customer segments in this example is the same, the target market for the marketing consultant. We mention it here only because it varies by business sector or professional need, because marketing consultants often specialize in certain sectors or professions, so it would vary from one consultant to another. The second line is also for small businesses, but they have at least some money to spend. They have some clue about how to market their business, but don't understand the details. Their goal is to find something that works so they can generate leads. The topics are marketing topics, but they should be more detailed, providing useful how-to advice on many of the best practices in marketing. The format should be the same, but you should invest more in ads because they can bring you real leads. The next group is mid-sized local businesses. Their need is based on a low to medium-sized budget. Their challenge is to find the best solutions for their marketing needs. Their goal is to maximize return on ad spend. The content topics and formats are the same. So what's the difference between this group and the last? None. This is an example where customer segments vary in needs, challenges, or goals, but the content doesn't have to change. So the very important rule here is this: don't create extra categories of content that you don't need. This next group is large local businesses. Their need is based on a mid to high marketing budget. Their challenge is to optimize campaign performance because they've been running campaigns and are doing all right, but they want to do better. Their goal is to build a marketing system. The content, topics, and formats are more educational in nature. They want to learn the details of how they can achieve their goals. The formats include webinars, guidebooks, and ads that promote your content so they can find it. This last group is large regional businesses. Their need is based on high or large marketing budgets. Their challenge is to optimize their system performance because they've built a basic marketing system. Their goal is to build a more mature marketing system. The content, topics, and formats are once again the same as before. They want to learn the details of how they can achieve their goals. The formats include webinars, guidebooks, and ads that promote your content, again, so they can find it. If you have a small business and think this is too complicated for you to do, I want to give you one more simple example. You may recall this example for a hair salon in our video on customer segments. There are 4 simple customer segments: women, women going to events and parties, children, and men. The need for the first 2 groups of women is the same. They're both focused on quality styling, but women going to an event or a party want to look perfect, if not spectacular, and they want it now. Their goal is to get an appointment in time for their event. In our video on customer segments, we suggested some business solutions for this group, such as including an upcharge or scheduling 1 day a week for last-minute appointments. The key to making this work requires a marketing solution, and in this case, it's simply a matter of routinely advertising your business solution. Children are easy because they're going to be accompanied by a parent, so they need to fit into their parent's schedule and budget. Content should feature your brand promise, and the formats can be blogs, posts, and ads. Men are equally easy because they only want a decent haircut. Their challenge is always fitting into their schedule, and their goal is just to get an appointment when they need it. Content topics and formats are the same as with children. Now, I recognize that some men want fancier haircuts, but if you're in this particular market, then this is a very simple, straightforward way to define the kind of content you need to create. And you can do it easily creating in Facebook posts. Remember, the main rule for creating content for customer segments: use your common sense and your knowledge of your customers as your guide, and don't make it any more complicated than it needs to be. Content marketing seems complicated when you first start thinking about it, but it doesn't have to be. Use the approach I've just illustrated. Begin by defining your customer segments. Then consider their needs, challenges, and goals. Keep it simple. You don't need to make this analysis more complicated than necessary. Decide what your customers need to know that they don't know. Then either create or curate content that provides that information. Design content marketing campaigns, and this is easy to do if you first created the content. That's the hard part. Curate content if you can. It's far easier to link to content created by others. Just don't use content created by direct competitors. Produce your own content if you must, but keep it simple. Short blogs are easy to create and shouldn't take a lot of time. Articles and ebooks should be designed to provide comprehensive information on broad topics to ensure they have a long shelf life, which means you don't have to create them very often. There are multiple tactical situations that vary across business models, and we'll continue to discuss these. That's why we created pre-designed marketing strategies for 20 different business models. You can find all 20 of our Quick Start Marketing business strategies on our website, listed under Marketing Strategies. Here's a list of the business models you can find on our website. Many of these are quite broad, encompassing many different types of businesses. Others are more specific. So review this list and download the strategy ebook that fits your business model. You're already familiar with key tactical elements of digital media, which we covered in our video lesson, Digital Media Strategy Basics, micro lesson number 7 in our micro course, Owned and Custom Audiences. As we continue with the rest of the series, we will continue to make reference to each of these key elements and the best practices for using them. As we've already seen, many best marketing practices emerge out of the integrated use of these technologies, but how they work depends on the nature of your business model. That completes this micro course, Creating Content for Customer Segments. Be sure and download your business model marketing strategy. You can find all 20 of our Quick Start Marketing strategies, as we said, on our website, listed under Marketing Strategies. Next time, we'll cover basic automated processes. See you next time on Building a Better Marketing System. Thanks for joining us.